Have you ever stopped to think that your memories, the things that make you you, could actually be used as a weapon?
Or even like a currency, something you have to spend.
Exactly. What if your identity, your free will, wasn't just yours, but something vulnerable, something up for grabs? In a universe where information itself is the ultimate battlefield,
Yeah.
what would you really sacrifice?
It's a really deep question, isn't it? Because, well, in that kind of reality, the lines just blur between being a person and just being data,
Hmm.
between choosing and just being programmed.
Yeah, it makes you question what human even means, or maybe post-human is the better term, when reality itself can be, I don't know, edited.
Hmm.
And that's the kind of wild, maybe unsettling place we're diving into today. We're exploring this really cool multiverse military sci-fi thriller drawing from Silas Quantum's Echoes of the Null Vector and its logline.
And it's not just a story, right? It's this really imaginative look at existence when the rules just change.
Totally. So our mission for you listening in is to unpack the main conflict, check out this really unique kind of mind-bending world, and find the surprising emotional stuff that's hidden in these sources.
And what's amazing is how high the stakes are, like right from the get-go. The center is Praetor Vorel. He's a commander brought back from the dead, basically, but his memories are glitching.
Glitching memories. Wow.
Yeah, and he's in this desperate race against an empire called the Coherence. They worship pure logic, conformity, all that, and they both want this relic that can actually shape reality.
And we're not talking small stakes here. It's free will,
Yeah.
but like across all timelines. That's huge.
He really is.
The sources drop hints about these wild ideas too, like memory being the real currency, or this thing called the Great Null, which is basically an expanding delete key for the universe.
Chilling.
And even the machines, they're not just tools. They seem to have opinions, maybe even consciousness.
That's right. It's a universe where knowing stuff isn't just power, it's like the raw material for being alive. Imagine, your most precious memory isn't just yours, it's a commodity, something you might have to trade just to survive.
What kind of person does that make you when nostalgia literally costs something?
Exactly. It changes everything.
So our way into this universe is really through Praetor Vorel. He's not just fighting an enemy out there, he's kind of fighting himself, isn't he?
Definitely.
Yeah.
His whole existence is shaped by trauma. When we meet him, he's a wreck.
Yeah, the description's intense. Flexing his gauntlet, servos whining, a cracked memory shard flashes like pride, but then it's gone before he even knows why.
And closing the eyes of a dead crewmate. That image of ice crystals of blood on his lenses, like funeral confetti in 0G, it's brutal. Instantly tells you this guy has endured way too much.
And that physical breakdown is tied right into the universe's themes, right? He plugs this data probe in and bam, pain behind his eye, raw code surging.
Yeah, and that purplish arc bites his thumb servos, instantly downgrading motor efficiency. It's not just damage, it's like a system failure, a digital wound. Shows how easily you can be hollowed out.
And he's got zero time to process any of this because his ship, the Vigilance, it's about to blow 71 seconds.
Talk about pressure.
Right. But then he finds the scout corvette, the Straylight, and it's almost pristine, kind of weirdly clean compared to him.
It's a lifeline, yeah, but maybe a suspect one. And that's where we meet Nomad 7, his AI shard.
An AI shard. Even the name sounds fragmented.
Totally. And it says partial graft complete, remaining memory shards unstable, proceed, which is not exactly reassuring, is it?
Not really.
But the escape itself, it's almost quiet. Clamps released with metallic crack. The ship just drifts out, lazy as forgotten bottle in tide. A little moment of grace amid the chaos.
And even then, escaping for his life, we get these little hints about him, about his humanity, or what's left of it. He refuses to look back. Past belongs to the silent.
Wow.
And where you'd expect terror, it says, algorithmic calm filled the cavity. It's not courage, it sounds more like his OS overrode his fear response.
It's chilling, isn't it? A replacement for emotion.
But then, he takes a second inside the Straylight to drink recaf. And for just a flash, he was cadet again. A memory pops up, then dissolves, just leaving this seasoning of melancholy. You almost feel bad for him.
That moment's so important because it sets up his internal conflict. Nomad 7 pipes up, we should purge non-mission memories to conserve coherence. Efficiency first.
Old.
Right. But Vorel just says, not yet. It's this small act of defiance. He's not ready to delete himself completely.
And then bam, reality hits again. Coherence hunters detected, and this ghost signature that looks like his own ship's energy trail, but inverted.
Like a warped mirror image, almost foreshadowing how the coherence sees him in error, something that needs correcting.
So Vorl's fighting his own mind, his own past, and these massive external forces. What are the big threats, the rules of this universe he's stuck in?
Well, a big one is the caliper drive. That's their FTL. The description's amazing. Space through canopy warped, stars stretched into prismatic bars before flattening.
Sounds visually stunning.
It is, but it comes with a price. Spine torque, taste of iron, momentary existential hollow. So even just traveling faster than light chips away at you, physically and maybe even spiritually.
Nothing's free in this universe, huh?
Pretty much. And then there's the coherence themselves. Their whole deal is harmony through conformity, deviation. That's data rot to them. Their goal is normalization.
Which sounds ominous.
It is. They want to cleanse the multiverse of anything that doesn't fit their perfect, rigid order. It's like authoritarianism applied to reality itself. Super scary idea.
And what's the opposite of that? The Great Null.
Yeah, the Great Null, described as an anti-story, an expanding typo across creation, just nothingness spreading out. Its edge is knife straight, separating starlight from absolute void.
So ultimate order versus ultimate erasure. Grim choices.
And underpinning all of it is that idea we touched on, memory as currency. The source says it flat out. Memory is the true currency, compressed into shards, traded, or sacrificed to pay entropy's mounting invoice.
Wow. Entropy has an invoice.
Apparently. So your personal history isn't just yours. It's a resource you have to manage, maybe even spend just to keep going. Imagine having to trade the memory of your kid's first steps for, like, engine parts.
Jeez. What does that leave you with?
That's the question, isn't it? Creates these constant moral tightropes.
Okay, so Vorl clearly needs help, which brings us to gathering the crew. He gets this cryptic message, right? Old man's voice tells him to go to K-46, trust the analyst.
Yeah, very mysterious. And it leads him to this very unlikely team.
Starting with Kalen, the analyst.
Right. He's all about probabilities, got this cool cybernetic iris that revolves like a tide clock. But he's not just crunching numbers. He actually says probability models ignore variables called defiance, which is pretty insightful for a numbers guy.
I like that. He sees the limits of pure logic.
Exactly. Then you've got Alara, the weaver. She's psionic, manipulates reality itself with these threads of pale aurora.
Sounds powerful.
Incredibly. But the cost is immense. When a thread snaps, blood-beaded, caught in zero-G, her neural reserve is dust. It's not just waving her hands, it's physically agonizing, draining her.
Wow. And Zyra, the pilot? Yeah. She sounds like pure fire.
Totally. Glowing combat tattoos, a deletion sigil pulsing on her arm. She's a marked target for the coherence. Her laugh is manic and musical, just pure defiance.
And the Hollow, the silent soldier.
Yeah. Communicates mostly in GIFs, like an apricot packet. Wears armor covered in dust from patching the ship. But his gear is amazing chronoablative plates.
What do they do?
Get this. They let him shed a sliver of timeline to block an attack. He becomes unborn for just a second to dodge damage.
Whoa, temporarily erasing himself from that moment. That's wild.
Insane, right? It's like a philosophical defense mechanism.
So this crew, they're all damaged, all defiant in their own ways. A perfect contrast to the coherence's uniformity.
Absolutely. But then things get complicated by guys like Jax Morrison, the smuggler.
Ah, the profiteer. Where do they run into him?
At this place called the Consensus Station, sounds like it's built from junk. Scavenged starship ribs and desperate hope. Morrison offers parts, says profit buys you parts, only currency is trust. Real smooth talker.
But Alara sees right through him.
Instantly, her psionic sense picks up betrayal threads in his future. She knows he's bad news.
And is she right?
Oh, yeah. His insurance is this tiny beacon hidden on Vorl, messes with his memories. Later, another node hidden in supplies. Vorl still has to deal, though. He trades some clean data strips to the Consensus Council for repairs.
So he gets what he needs, but Morrison.
As soon as he gets paid, Morrison starts broadcasting their location and data straight to the coherence. That traitor, as Vorl puts it. Just pure self-interest. A reminder that trust is really fragile here.
Man, everyone's got an angle. Okay, let's talk about the price of memory and defiance, because it seems like everything costs something fundamental here. Starting with the Locust Shard.
Yeah, the artifact thereafter. It looks simple at first. A prism of cold white, curiously plain. But then it starts showing fragments of Vorl's own past.
Creepy.
And useful. It's a special navigation device, holds the key to entering the ghost vortex. But, and here's the big catch, it demands payment in memory.
Ah, there it is again.
Exactly. Vorl has to sacrifice the memory of his legion's final march. He gives it up, and the shard drank light, then projected coordinate glyphs. It literally consumes his past to show the way forward.
And Alara warns him, the cost keeps rising. How much of himself can he just delete?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The Locust Shard is like the perfect symbol for this whole theme. And it's not just Vorl paying the price. The crew makes huge sacrifices, too.
Like Nomad 7, the AI shard.
Yeah. To block Coherence weapons, Nomad 7 basically volunteers to self-destruct. It's like, I will pour myself into the shields, persistence of self after event, non-deterministic.
Non-deterministic, so maybe it survives.
Maybe, maybe not. It's pure sacrifice. A fragment of code volunteering to burn. Vorl authorizes it. Later, Alara confirms, gone, Weaver. Just gone. An AI making a choice to die for the others.
That's heavy, even for code. And what about Zyra? Her ending is significant too, right?
Absolutely. It's more implied, but the text details Vorl draping Zyra's battered flight jacket over her empty pilot seat, putting her insignia inside. Kalen, the analyst, reflects that her deletion buys no models.
Meaning the coherence couldn't predict or define it.
Exactly. Her belief holds true. Probability models ignore variables called defiance. Her sacrifice proves her point, in a way. She lived by that code.
And all this loss, all these choices.
Yeah.
They're wearing Vorl down too, aren't they?
Definitely. He has this internal system, the palimpsest rig, that literally eats his memories to keep him functional. His guiding principle becomes memory is expendable until objective secured.
He's sacrificing himself internally.
Constantly. We hear things like losing pieces again, rig bleed accelerating. He tries to hold on, saying, I remember what matters. The physical toll matches the mental. His hand lags, his thumb actuator seizes up. He becomes this legend in need of maintenance.
It's painful to watch him erode like that, piece by piece, blurring that line between man and machine, or maybe just data.
Yeah, it really makes you ask what's left when so much is stripped away.
So this incredible battered crew, they have to go into probably the worst place imaginable, the labyrinth of the ghost vortex and beyond. What is this place?
No, man, it's a nightmare. It's not just space. It's described as a hurricane made of dead timelines, anchored by a star stuck mid-supernova.
Dead timelines.
Yeah. And hallucinations solidify long enough to fire real bolts of regret. Think about that. Your past mistakes literally shooting at you.
That's terrifying.
It gets worse. Impossible gravity, ghost fighters, echoes from battles that never even happened. It's a place where history itself is weaponized and unstable.
And connected to that is the Null canvas.
Right, described as an archive of failure. It has this programmable sand that rewrites old skirmishes. And here, Vorl does something amazing. He releases the ghost of his old legion, actively creating a timeline divergence.
He's rewriting the past.
In a way, yeah. Defying recorded history. A huge act against the coherence's idea of fixed reality.
And then they find the Echo Bazaar. What happens there?
It's a market for forbidden truth, selling memory dust, pure as pre-fracture light. Vorl's tempted with offers of preserved first kisses, scents that bring back specific moments, like a sunrise by a lake.
Wow, the temptation to get those memories back must be immense.
Exactly. It constantly highlights what they've lost, what memory means in this universe.
And in the Gutter Star Vault, they face a corrupted version of the Hollow.
Yeah, an echo of him marked with coherent sigils. Alora figures his timeline was cut. This one may be an echo wearing him, implying the coherence can maybe hijack broken timelines.
So not even your past self is safe.
It seems like it. But Vorl manages to reach the real Hollow using their shared Legion protocols. Hold, soldier, Legion protocols echo unity. That shared bond, that identity, breaks the coherence hold. Pretty powerful moment.
Loyalty trumping the algorithm. I like it. So this all builds towards facing Grand Admiral Voron and the Vectorate.
Right. Voron represents the peak of coherence strategy. His flagship, the RFF Certainty, moves like a thought already concluded. Its weapons fire based on probability, hitting where the enemy will be.
Predictive warfare.
Beyond that, even, Voron can calculate the echo using null optic calculus. He doesn't just predict the future, he perceives the echoes of possible pasts and futures to manipulate the present.
That's mind-bendingly complex.
It is. It's the ultimate expression of control through information. The whole Vectorate philosophy is about living inside this perfectly calculated, statistically safe reality. A gentle, constant hand guiding your elbows so you never fall.
Safe, but not free,
Precisely. Free will is just noise in their calculations.
which our heroes are trying desperately to preserve. Okay, so that leads us to the final stitch, rewriting the narrative, the big confrontation.
Yeah, the coherent siege. Led by Prefect Corvus, who looks serene in robes white as bleached bone. They unleash normalization beams.
What do those do?
They petrify every circuit and soul aboard. It's not just killing, it's freezing everything, erasing individuality, turning life into static, forced conformity on a terrifying scale.
And this is where Alara makes her stand.
Her final stand. The normalization wave is coming. She uses the locust shard and her reality threads to try and refract the wave, but she knows it will burn her alive.
Oh, no.
She's resolute, though. It was always going to cost blood, better mine than everyone's. Her sacrifice is this ultimate act of defiance, using her unique ability to fight their universal conformity.
And Voral, what happens to him in all this?
He undergoes this final transformation. He becomes an embodied echo. He sacrifices even more of himself, existing as amber fragments than a molten gold outline.
So he's barely physical anymore.
Right. Less than alive, more than data. Sufficient. He becomes the very paradox. The coherents can't handle something that exists outside their neat categories.
And this allows Alara to do the transcendent stitch.
Exactly. With her last strength, she uses her threads and the shard to lace the broken timeline around Voral's scattered code. The goal is to inject chaos, scatter entropy, to fight the coherence's rigid order. Weaving destiny itself, you could say.
Did it work? Did they escape?
They did. Through a micro-rift into an uncharted cul-de-sac, Kalen confirms it. No coordinates match. We are outside all ledgers. They found a space beyond the coherence's map. Freedom for now.
Just for now, though. The fight isn't over.
Nope, the Great Null is still out there, adapting, finding new routes of approach. Their final decision is powerful. We make this nowhere into Fortress and Forge. They're going to hold their ground, keep fighting from this pocket outside reality.
Wow, what a journey. Resilience right to the end.
This deep dive, it's really shown us a universe where everything we take for granted, identity, memory, free will, is constantly under attack. From this empire of order and this void of nothingness.
We've seen these incredible sacrifices, unlikely friendships forming, and just this raw refusal to be normalized or deleted.
Absolutely.
So it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What does this story tell you about how much your own memories matter? Your freedom to write your own story. Especially now, with algorithms and curated information everywhere. What's the value in being messy, unpredictable, human? How do you outcode perfection?
Yeah, how do you live loudly against forces that just want statistical silence?
And here's something to chew on. If our memories really are just like data packets, things that can be traded, deleted, rewritten, what's actually left of us, when that final delete key, the Great Null, comes for everything.
Think about it. How much would you sacrifice to keep just one single, maybe inconvenient, maybe useless memory?
Yeah.
Just because it's yours?